All right, the Faculty Council at Rutgers University in New Brunswick, New Jersey, is urging the school to rescind its invitation to Condoleezza Rice to speak at this year's commencement. Now, Rutgers is awarding an honorary Doctor of Law degree to the former Secretary of State and paying her $35,000 to speak. Now, our own Ainsley Earhart visited the campus and tracked down some of the 200 professors who are now protesting, and here's why they say they object.
She played a prominent role in the Bush administration's effort to mislead the American people about the presence of weapons of mass destruction, and she, at the very least, condoned the Bush administration's policy of enhanced interrogation techniques such as waterboarding, and that does it for me.
Picking a commencement speaker is honoring the speaker and also offering a role model to students, and I think we could make better choices than to pick Condi Rice.
Commencement is a place where students should be happy and joyful and proud of their achievements and not be distracted by political controversies.
So it's not about Republicans and Democrats?
Not at all. I have very good Republican friends, and some of them are members of the Tea Party. That's not the issue. It's for me the morality of what was done during a war.
All right, joining us now, Rudy Bell, history professor at Rutgers. He signed on to this petition. You signed on to this?
Oh, yes. One of the people helping to circulate it.
And you were upset about the effort that she was her role in misleading the American people?
I think we are concerned with two areas primarily, the misleading of the American people on the situation in Iraq, particularly whether there were weapons of mass destruction, and then her co-involvement in enhanced methods of interrogation, I believe is the phrase she uses.
Let me ask you this. If Barack Obama were to speak at the commencement, would you support him being there?
He's been invited for 2016. I'll give you, that's a news break.
So
I don't know whether he said yes or no.
Would you support it?
I think by then he's a lame duck, and...
Would you support it? Would you would you be protesting like you are Condi?
I'd have to think about that, but I believe
Probably not.
I don't agree with that. I would support Governor Christie speaking.
Let me give you an effort to mislead the American people. Did Barack Obama mislead the American people when he said if you like your plan, you can keep your plan? And 7 million
that's not why I would pick Obama. The reason that
I'm asking, did he mislead the American people? Because this is the standard. This is what you say. The effort to mislead the American people is, if that is the standard, did the President Obama mislead the American people when he said if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor, like your plan, you can keep your plan?
The reason for inviting Obama would be because of his office. It's the same as Governor Christie. I would have no objection to inviting his office, President of the United States.
A black Secretary of State?
She has no office. She's a professor at Stanford.
Excuse me, but a prominent role in our country's history, in a prominent position, you may disagree. Isn't a college campus, shouldn't that be the area where we have the most free speech?
She's absolutely welcome to come. I think $35,000 would be a little high. We normally pay about the most $2,000.
Frankly, you got her cheap.
No, that's not.
I charge a lot more.
Really?
That's correct.
Were you invited to Rutgers ever? I don't think so.
You probably protest.
Anyway, on academic freedom grounds, she's at. No, I would never protest you coming to Rutgers. As a commencement speaker is different. That is a faculty governance issue.
Can I just say, but you would want Obama to be your commencement speaker?
No, I don't want him or not want him.
All right, but you wouldn't protest this way, is my guess, because you won't give me an answer. But the point is, he misled the American people. He told the American people they can keep their plan, keep their doctor, and they'd save $2,500 a year. My question, why don't you apply the same standard to him?
I'm a historian. I wait 100 or 200 years to make judgments. I am not ready to make a judgment about Obama.
Oh, you're wimping out.
Not at all.
You're
I'm perfectly happy to tell you that
you don't believe in academic freedom, freedom of speech.
I totally believe in freedom of speech.
Oh, then why are you trying to silence somebody you just don't like?
Not trying to silence her at all. She's entirely welcome to come as anything but commencement speaker.
You should be thankful to God you got somebody as qualified as her, and I bet you're not going to get qualified people if you keep acting this way. But good to see you.
Okay.
Coming up next.
From Florida, Mr. Wexler.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Madam Secretary, over the past month, startling revelations have come forward that specifically relate to your conduct prior to 9/11 and in the run-up to the war in Iraq. A recently released study by the nonpartisan Center for Public Integrity revealed that you, along with President Bush and top administration officials, made a total of 935 false public statements in an orchestrated attempt to take this nation to war. Here's a stack of these false statements right here, all 935 of them. This study has found that you, Madam Secretary, made 56 false statements to the American people, where you repeatedly pump up the case that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction and exaggerate the so-called relationship between Iraq and al-Qaeda. Madam Secretary, can you please tell us, isn't it true that you had intelligence that cast doubt on your repeated claims that Iraq did not have weapons of mass destruction?
No, it's not true, Congressman. With all due respect, I think if you look back at the key judgments of the intelligence estimate about Iraq's weapons of mass destruction, you will see that those judgments supported the views of many intelligence agencies worldwide, the views of the United Nations inspectors, that Iraq must have been hiding something. Our own intelligence estimate said that Iraq had reconstituted its biological weapons program, its chemical weapons program, and the only disagreement was whether or not they had reconstituted their nuclear weapons program, although there were certainly elements, including the CIA, that believed that they were in the process of doing so. Now, Congressman, I take my integrity very seriously, and I did not at any time make a statement that I knew to be false or that I thought to be false in order to pump up anything. Nobody wants to go to war. Saddam Hussein was a threat to this country. We had gone to war against him in 1991. President Clinton had gone to war against him in 1998. We were in a state of war with him. This was a cessation of hostilities, not an armistice, because let us remember that our pilots were actually flying missions, Southern Watch and Northern Watch, and being shot at by his air defenses. And so, I'm sorry, Congressman, because you've questioned my integrity, I ask you to let me respond. Now, we have learned that many of the intelligence assessments were wrong. There have been many, many investigations of that, including Senate Select Intelligence and a number of others. And we have gone to extraordinary lengths to reform our intelligence agencies so that they can make better assessments of situations in which you have non-transparent governments that will not answer the just demands of an international community that had sanctioned and had resolutions against Saddam Hussein several times.
Secretary,
So no, Congressman, at no time did I intend to, or do I believe that I did, put forward false information to the American people.
I simply asked if you had intelligence that was contrary to the intelligence that you reported repeatedly to the American people that Iraq did have weapons of mass
Congressman,
destruction.
I would suggest that you go back and read the key judgments of 2002. I think that will answer your question.
Yes. The answer to the question, Madam Secretary, is that, in fact, there were contrary reports. You chose to weigh the reports
Congressman,
supported your
Congressman, no, Congressman, I chose to use, Congressman, Congressman, I'm sorry, I'm going to answer this. Congressman, I chose to use what every administration uses, which is the collective wisdom of the intelligence community that is in a national intelligence estimate. I again ask you to go back and read the key judgments from 2002 about the state of Saddam Hussein's weapons programs, and I think you will see that it was the judgment of the intelligence community as a whole that he had reconstituted his biological weapons program, reconstituted his chemical weapons program, and was seeking to do so with his nuclear weapons program, and might do so within a year if he got foreign assistance. That was the collective wisdom of the intelligence community. I will be the first to say that it was not right.
The American people were denied the opportunity to hear the other side. You may have rightfully or wrongfully reached your conclusion, but a legitimate question is, why weren't the American people told that there was contrary intelligence?
Congressman, I am sorry. I sat through the briefings for the Congress and for the Senate done by the intelligence community. We were there to provide policy advice, but either George Tenet or John McLaughlin or others gave those briefings. And Congressman, the American people were told what their intelligence community as a whole believed to be the assessment concerning Iraq's programs. I just want to repeat to you that not only was it our intelligence community, there were other intelligence communities that believed the same. If we didn't believe that, it's very strange that we put Iraq under several Security Council resolutions numbering 16 or 17 demanding that Saddam Hussein answer for his weapons of mass destruction programs, that the resolution 1441, which was a unanimous resolution of the Security Council saying that he had to answer for his weapons of mass destruction programs, I'd be the first to say the intelligence was not right. And we've gone to great lengths to reorganize it so that we can have better intelligence. But to claim, Congressman, that there were other things that we somehow hid from the American people is simply not right.
Busted. Condi, come on, Condi, admit it. Thought he had weapons of mass destruction. Lied. Turns out he didn't, but he had the capacity to make intelligence. But I also talked about the human suffering. The entire intelligence community lied to go to war. You are a war criminal. Attacked us and killed 3,000 of our citizens. Even Bush admits before we started the freedom Iraq agenda had in the nothing Middle East. To do with 9/11. They were.
Let's take a
What
listen.
did Iraq have to do with what?
The attack on the World Trade Center.
Nothing, except for it's part of, and nobody's ever suggested in this administration that Saddam Hussein ordered the attack. Iraq was the lesson of September 11th is take threats before they fully materialize, Ken. Yeah, that's called preemptive war, and the doctrine of preemptive war has certain qualifications that were never met. You are a war criminal, you and Condoleezza Rice. You're all a bunch of liars. And what you're doing is you're just puppets of the Vatican. There you are, Bush. And there's Condi up here, right up there. There you go, Condi, right there, the red mask. But Condi, you have blood on your hands. You're a war criminal. 1 million dead people because you're a puppet of the Vatican. Everyone knows you're a liar. That's why they don't want you to speak at Rutgers University. $35,000 you would get for that? You should be in jail. You should be getting enhanced interrogation techniques. You know, the old Catholic torture, the inquisitional torture that you supported. Yeah, the all-seeing eye is on your forehead. The all-seeing eye that we see in Catholic churches all over the world. High up in the ceilings of their cathedrals. You're just a Catholic puppet. Can't you see your strings? Well, neither can most people. That's why we're putting out this video. You're a Catholic puppet, advancing the New World Order, as Bush said in his speech, his inauguration speech. A fire has been lit that will reach the farthest corners of the globe. It will burn those who fight its progress. We know the speech. We know what you're doing. We know who your master is. We know who you're partners in crime with. We know you have blood on your hands, Condi. Shame on you.